What's up, everyone? Welcome back to PokeMarketLab. Today we are talking Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. Have these been a good investment? Are they a good investment going forward? We're going to look at some data points here, look at some graphs. So let's buckle in and get into it. First thing I want to go over, what is a Pokemon Center exclusive ETB? Why is it exclusive? Does it matter that it's exclusive? And let's talk about the changes that happen from coming from Sword and Shield era to Scarlet and Violet. And there's some really important changes there. One of them in particular that really have caused a solid increase in the value and exclusivity of the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box. So first things first, they went from 10 packs to 11 packs in Scarlet and Violet. So Sword and Shield, you got 9 booster packs in a Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box versus the 9 in the regular ETB. So when Scarlet and Violet happened, everything shifted up by 1 pack. Really not that big of a deal. So you really should not be paying the MSRP of $60 each for a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box just to get packs. It's way too expensive. And the biggest thing, the most important change, is that the cards in the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box is the promos. It's the same promo. Visually, it's the same card from the regular ETB to the Pokemon Center ETB, but the difference is they put a specific stamp on there. It says Pokemon Center on the ETB for the exclusive one here, and it made a huge difference in terms of collectability. So let's take a look at what that looks like here. So just an example here on the left-hand side, we have that Pokemon Center exclusive stamp highlighted in red down there, and the regular promo from the regular ETB, the ETB you can get anywhere, does not have a stamp promo. It's just a regular card. So it just creates a different. It doesn't change the look of the card overall. It's exclusive. It's a lot rarer. There's a lot less of those Pokemon Center exclusive stamped cards, and then can only be had in the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box. And so there's a number of benefits there that this causes. So the stamp promo card, again, is exclusive to the Pokemon Center ETB. So the only way the secondary market population of that specific stamped promo card changes is by cracking Pokemon Center ETBs. In the Sword and Shield era, there was no reason to crack them. None whatsoever. Okay. There was no promo to get. You had an extra pack. That was it. So there was really no demand for those products, and we'll look at some data to prove that, but there just really wasn't demand for the Pokemon Center ETB. For the same amount of space, technically less, if you're looking at square inches here, a booster box is a way better investment in the Sword and Shield era. That's different in the Scarlet and Violet. Very different. So, and what this does is having that exclusive card that has that stamp causes cracking of those Pokemon Center ETBs, which means the sealed population of those boxes will always go down as people open that box to crack that card. So if those cards go up in price, those Pokemon stamped cards go up in price, that causes cracking. So you have that fight of what we see in regular booster boxes. When the singles go up in value, that kind of justifies opening a box, and then the box price goes up, and there's that constant supply and demand battle between the singles and the booster box and the prices of each of those. We never had that in the Sword and Shield era with the Pokemon Center ETBs. We have that now. So that was it's actually a really small change if you think about it from a production standpoint. There's no other real changes other than the pack count, which is irrelevant, but it creates a collectability that wasn't there. So it was a huge, small change, but a massive change. And again, we'll look at that in the data here. So let's look at some data here. We're going to look at Sword and Shield first. So the orange bar is the regular booster box return. This is percentage return, not dollars, percentage return, okay? And this is based, what I used for a number is, I used $125 for a booster box. That's a pretty average, number that you could have paid for most booster boxes. It's kind of right between that low end of about $100 a box and the high end of like MSRP. This is around release date historically. So I used $125 for the Pokemon Center ETB. I used that $60 price point, which I believe it's been as long as I can remember. So pretty close there. So that orange bar here is the percentage return based off that $125 base floor price for a booster box and the $60 price for the Pokemon Center ETB. So orange bar here is booster box return, and blue bar here is Pokemon Center ETB return. So we're looking at Sword and Shield here. We're looking at a few boxes from Sword and Shield. And as you can see, the booster box was almost always the better investment. Crown Zenith is the outlier here. Crown Zenith was weird because it actually had 12 booster packs in that box. It was actually a larger box. The box design was really cool, so there's definitely some chase going on in the Pokemon Center ETB for that one. But you can see here, far and away, booster box for Sword and Shield was always your good investment, and the return on the Pokemon Center ETBs has been pretty anemic from this era, especially given the amount of time that has passed for a lot of these products here. And this is in stark comparison to the Scarlet and Violet sealed return comparison here. Booster box again is orange, and PC ETB is blue, and you can see here big increase here. So yeah, the long and short of it is the Pokemon Center ETB in the Scarlet and Violet era has absolutely been the better investment. And there are some caveats there. You know, some of these age plays into it, right? We can see looking at those beginning sets here in Scarlet and Violet, those have appreciated up nicely, and you see those ones in the middle there are starting to appreciate nicely. And we should see as time goes on, hopefully the other sets start to appreciate as well. One thing to kind of keep in mind we have seen recently is some I think reprints. I don't know if I want to call them reprints or not, but we saw that with Twilight Masquerade Pokemon Center ETBs, with a massive release of these back on the Pokemon Center website, way past release, which is very uncommon. We don't know if it was a reprint or moving around of product from one region to another potentially, but it didn't change the price all that much. The big thing here is the single artwork. That's what really drives us. You have to have really good single artwork to drive these prices up. But even still, even without really good artwork for some of these sets, for some of these promos, we've still seen some really good returns here. So you can see the clear winner is the Pokemon Center ETB. Now, another caveat here is you can't always get your hands on as many Pokemon Center ETBs as you can booster boxes, right? Pre-release at the $125 price point, that's fair for every set in Scarlet and Violet. You could have absolutely gotten easily at the $125 price point or less pre-release. Pokemon Center ETBs are a battle sometimes. So take 151, for example. Let's get the highest return, 350% return on the Pokemon Center ETB box if you bought it at that $60 price point, either before release or on release day when they were available. It was extremely hard to get Pokemon Center 151 boxes. Either the pre-order sold out within, I think, less than half an hour. Release day, there was a few more available. I was able to snag a couple. It was extremely difficult. Versus I could have deployed as much capital as I want to buy any booster box or ETB from any of these sets pre-release at below MSRP pricing. So the caveat here is really how would you scale that Pokemon Center ETB volume to capitalize on it? And the answer is it would be extremely hard for some of these sets. Some sets, Pokemon Center ETB has been available for a long period of time after release. Obsidian Flames was one where it just it didn't appreciate for a long period of time. It was only recently that it really started to run up in price. So again, it would be hard to certainly scale this versus a booster box. So that's one caveat here. But the long and short of it is, should you pre-order Pokemon Center ETBs in Scarlet and Violet? And the answer is absolutely yes. The only question is, is the Pokemon Company going to catch on to that and kind of start increasing the number of Pokemon Center ETBs that they print for some of these sets? And they may again see it as a collector's item, and it increasingly is. There's no collector box or anything in Pokemon, so that has de facto become the collector box for sure. So let's dive into a couple of these boxes specifically here. Some of the better ones. The Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center ETB with that Charizard has done phenomenally well with a 210% return in the last year alone. There's only 23 available on TCG Player. And that's the other thing, is the population for these, if it is restricted, which it typically has been other than that Twilight Masquerade one, that's one of the other benefits is versus a booster box, there's very little chance of a reprint on these. So what you see for a population out there now, it's likely not to increase, right? Again, because of the exclusivity of that Pokemon Center stamp promo card, it will continue as that card continues to increase in price, which we have seen. We'll go over that in a second. It's going to cause people to crack open the ETB, the Pokemon Center ETB, to get more of those because the value's there. So they're going to keep leapfrogging each other, the Pokemon Center ETB price versus the promo price in terms of increase in terms of market price out in the secondary market. So this one has done phenomenally well. I'm so lucky I have one of these. I'll hold on for a long time here, but I mean, again, versus the Obsidian Flames is not considered a fantastic set, so you absolutely, and this is true of every single set, especially in the beginning of Scarlet and Violet. You'd be, from a typical percentage standpoint, you would have been better off buying the Pokemon Center ETB. And we'll look at Paldea Evolved here, another 124% return in the last year, only 15 available on TCG Player, so another one phenomenally well. And again, I mentioned the artwork is really important here. So looking at that Obsidian Flames Charmander, that promo, unfortunately I didn't include the picture of the promo itself with the stamp on it, but you get the idea. It just has the stamp. 169% return in the last year. There's only 20 of these listed on TCG Player. So, and with a market price of $63. So, and this is going to continue to rise. And again, that's going to cause, potentially cause some cracking in the future. But now I think what's happening is the Pokemon Center ETB, because it is on the older side and there's very few of them out in the market, it is in and of itself is becoming that collectible. So I don't know that the Charmander can increase the price enough to kind of combat a $220 market price on the PC ETB. But fantastic returns here on the Charmander. Snorlax from 151, market price of $127, 310% increase in the last year alone. That's just because it has the stamp on it. So you can see here, this is absolutely a trend. And it's a trend that, again, if you know the promo and you see the Pokemon Center ETBs available on release day and you can snag them, it's 100% the way to go. I mean, I typically don't tell people, I don't talk in definitives all the time, but I think it's very clear that this is definitively a good way to go from an investment standpoint for sure. The Koraidon from Scarlet and Violet, another one's doing fantastically well. There's only 11 listed on TCG Player right now. 246% return last year, market price of $50. So again, you have to, I think from a long-term standpoint, all of the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs are going to do well. The ones with really good artwork, like we see here in the Charmander and the Snorlax, they're going to do phenomenally well long-term. So back on the percentage return chart here, again, absolutely it's clear as day that the Pokemon Center ETB is a fantastic investment. It's hard to scale though, so if you're a big buyer, you're buying cases of booster boxes per set, it's going to be hard. You're limited on what you can get from the Pokemon Center website. I think the max is 6 on most of these. I could be wrong. You may be able to game the system and use a different address of family members or something and get a second case. But again, it's hard to scale when we're talking big chunks of money here. But I think if you're the type of person that buys every set, or maybe you don't buy every set, maybe you're kind of, you pick and choose. I think if you want to cast more of a wide net on what you get, I think this is the way to go. Just look at it. I mean, even if you could just get 2 ETBs, if you can snag 2 for each set, it's $120. That's about what you would spend for a booster box. And you're getting some really good exposure to the set. You're getting, historically, some really good returns. I think as long as the Pokemon Center doesn't shift gears and start printing these into the ground, which, again, Twilight Masquerade may be a little concerned. But I think these are going to do extremely well. And again, if you see the promo, you know what the promo is, and it's a really good card, then it's, I think, a slam dunk. Prismatic Evolutions, we see that Eevee, those are going for, like, those Pokemon Center ETBs are selling secondary market for $400 a pop. I don't think that'll hold. But again, I just think this is absolutely a trend. You can see it here in the chart, and we're going to see some of those middle sets start to go up over time. And I think in the future, these are going to do phenomenally well. It's blowing away booster boxes, even though booster boxes are doing extremely well. But it's just those percentage returns. Again, this isn't looking at dollars. This is looking at percentage points here. And it's very clear how things are going. So that's it for today. I thought it was a really cool analysis here. And let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, if you like what we're doing, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinion, and we will see you on the next one.